Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Psychic Tapestry. I'm Ken Kessler, and she's Toni DeMaio. Hi, Toni.
Hi, Ken. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday night.
Happy Tuesday night. We are live. It is Tuesday, August 29th. Phone lines are open. 347-838-9903 is the number. There's a couple people hanging on already. So if you would like to talk to us, sooner's better than later. There are a couple other ways that you can connect. Social media is one, facebook.com/Psychic Tapestry or at Psychic Tapestry on Twitter or X, whichever you prefer to call it. You can also join us in the chat room if you're listening to Blog Talk Radio on your desktop computer. You can scroll down, pop in the chat room, and join us there. I don't think it works on devices. I say that all the time, and nobody has yet to prove me wrong. So if you are listening on your phone or other device and you can get into the chat room from there, let me know, and I will correct it. It's not something that's broken. I just don't think it was designed that way to be able to access the chat room from the apps. But maybe it's been fixed. I don't know. Not fixed. Maybe it's been changed. Maybe they've added that to it. I don't know. I'll let you, if somebody pops in the chat room and says, I'm listening on my phone and here I am, I will let everybody know that you can do that. But for now, I don't think you can. And phone's really the best because you may have follow-up questions for us. We may have them for you. And the back and forth on the phone is easier. Conversations easier than in the chat room or through social media. But we realize that you could be doing something that makes it difficult or impossible even to call in, or maybe you just don't want to. Maybe you like the anonymity of the chat room, and maybe you have some other reason that's frankly none of my business, and that's okay too. That's why those other options are available to you. But 347-838-9903 is the phone number if you want to go that route. So, there.
Very good.
Thank you. I remembered how to do it. It's been a while. We had been off for a while, and then I was a little under the weather a couple weeks ago for the big return, and my wonderful wife, Lisa, filled in for me. And she really is. And I'm very grateful that you guys were able to soldier on and do this without me. Thank you.
Thank you for setting it up.
You're very welcome. I hated missing I hated missing the last one, but it just
well, when you're sick, you're sick. You have to rest.
Yeah, I just needed to take care of me so that I could be here tonight. So
I'm so glad you are.
I'm glad I am too. Before we get to the phones, I wanted to talk tonight about messages. I think that I think outside of spirit guides, I think this is one of the most popular things that people ask about, and
100%.
Yeah, and it can be very confusing because a lot of people in the metaphysical community will tell you to, watch for messages, watch for signs, and it can be difficult and tricky, especially if you are stressed or anxious and you're not sure what information you're getting. Is that a message? Is it a sign? Is it something I should be paying attention to? Am I deciding that everything is a message and a sign? Am I being too overly critical and deciding nothing is? I get that, and I do that sometimes. So I totally understand. One of the things that I think is most important is that messages aren't the same for everybody. Kind of messages, the content of the messages, it depends on you. So the kind of messages that I get for the most part may not be the same sort of thing that you would get. What Toni gets is not the same as the way that I get it, and it may not be the same as you. You may get something completely different, and that's okay. One of the things that I would say about messages is, and I know this sounds like a cop-out, but you know. When it's a message for you, you know.
Yeah,
and
there's a feeling to it.
Yeah.
That goes with it.
And we are our own worst enemies because we will talk ourselves out of it. We'll decide it was a coincidence or it's just I wanted to hear that or think that or feel that. I wanted to and it happened and I just made that happen and it's not real. And we do that to ourselves all the time. But you'll get that initial gut reaction, and that is almost always it is. For me, it's often music. A lot of my guides have music connections. We're singers or musicians, and I will get music and sometimes and I should preface this by saying that, if music is a big thing for you, it may not be that you have a bunch of music guides, but that may be the way that you get messages. And I know a lot of us have had songs in our heads. And a lot of the times the way it will work for me is that I will not even realize that there's a song going on in my head for a while. I'll be sort of aware that it's there, but just still going about my business. And then suddenly it hits me, oh my gosh, that's what I needed to know, or what I, or it just makes me feel better. I know that somebody's thinking of me. I know that I'm not alone. Messages can be a million different kinds of things, as well as delivered in so many different ways. I know because of movies and TV shows, a lot of times we expect it to be some kind of disembodied voice that is booming through wherever you are and tells you whatever it is that you need to know. And that, I won't say that's never the case, but that's rarely the case. That's very Hollywood.
Yeah,
and
happened to me though.
Yeah, and
but what hasn't happened to me? I mean, what hasn't happened?
Yeah, that's another show.
Really, it is.
Let's tackle messages first. The way that they can be, the way that you can get them. I was going to say the way they're delivered, but the different styles of messages. And I mentioned music and the loud booming voices. Toni, what are some other ways? How do you get messages first?
I get them all different ways. I think I've famously, maybe not so famously, mentioned the night that my brother died unexpectedly in 2000. And on the way home, I had to drive back from another state, from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, after having my brother die and not even knowing how sick he was. Anyway, long story short, he was a musician. He was a very talented musician. He had a band. He could play any instrument, but lead guitar was his main thing. And he would begin every set or every gig with what is it called? What is the name of that? Sleepwalk. You know Sleepwalk, right?
Oh yeah. Instrumental. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. It has words. I found it recently with the singer singing it. I should send it to you. It's very cool. Anyway, long story short, so I generally listen to jazz. I mean, that's my go-to. I was a jazz singer and a pop singer. But anyway, so I had the jazz station on the car radio where it always is. And darned if, the minute I get in there and turn the radio on, Sleepwalk. The tears just poured. I was tears of joy. I said, John, hi, because I had missed him. He was in a coma when I got there, and he passed before I left. And so sleepwalk, and then he would always play Brown Eyed Girl when I walked in the room, and he had a guitar in his hand. So I just love music as, the whole thing. That was one of the most special messages, all that whole group, and everything he played was something that we had either done together in an act or that he played that had meaning. And it was all played somehow on this jazz station. I don't even know how that happened. I don't know how that works, and I don't know if you do. But like sometimes, other people have told me that they'll have like a rock station on and then another type of music will just come after someone has left. I mean, who knows how this works? But music is a very powerful way to get a message. Another way, of course, are the pennies that we see, or the change on the ground, or the little white feathers, in the middle of your living room where there's no way there's a white feather in your living room. All of that, right? Yeah, I love it. That's how most people get
the I don't want to say profound, startling. The most startling message that I ever received. I was doing an episode of Psychic Tapestry, and I think Donna was on.
Oh,
and,
Donna.
And her angel friend, and talking about Donna Southard and
Raphael.
Archangel Raphael, who she channels, and they were on, and she was, I think, talking to a caller. And so I had my microphone muted. I think I coughed or something, and I didn't want to interrupt. And while I'm sitting there, I suddenly noticed a stack of 3 CDs next to my keyboard that I had not put there. And they were Johnny Mathis Christmas CDs, which is not an unusual thing for me to have, but they were a new one, and they were 3 that were just together sitting right next to where I was, and I didn't put them there. And I was sort of shocked. And when Donna and Raphael finished giving that particular caller the messages, I was a little flustered when we came back. And I said that something had happened, and I asked Raphael if he had anything to do with it, and he laughed and said, "You have to tell the whole story." So I had to tell a story of, and I've told it a few times. I'll give a brief. I guess because I've brought this up, I'll give a brief rendition of it. But I had, when I first had tried to connect, one of the first times that I had connected with Ray Charles in a spirit circle. And I was, wow, Ray Charles. And I wanted to know how it was that why he came to me, how he found me. And he sort of laughed and said that Marvin sent him. And I said,
wow,
you hang out with Marvin Gaye? And he said, what do you think, all those black singers just hang out together? And he laughed. And I thought, I had been told that it was a one-way connection if Spirit wanted to connect with you, they did that, but you couldn't connect to them. You couldn't initiate it, and that just didn't seem right to me. So I wanted to try it, but I didn't want to upset anybody, do it wrong, make somebody mad. So I thought, who would I connect to? And I connected to. I thought it was probably late September, early October. I was getting ready for my Christmas station, and I thought, Andy Williams. I'll try Andy Williams.
Andy Williams is a good guy.
And I was home by myself. It was very quiet and peaceful. I sort of went into a little bit of a meditation and thought about Andy Williams, and I connected. I didn't think this was going to work. I'd never done this before. I was sure it wasn't going to work. And there's Andy Williams, and I could just see him in my mind's eye, dressed to the nines in a beautiful tux, and he was like on his way somewhere, and he was a little bit annoyed that I had popped in and was bothering him. And I was so shocked, and he wanted to know what it was why I was bothering him. And I hadn't thought ahead to have thought of anything I would say to him, because I was so sure this wasn't going to work. And because I was getting ready for the Christmas station and Johnny and I Need Advertisers, I asked if he knew who I could contact to see about Johnny Mathis advertising on my Christmas station. And I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I didn't know what else to say, and that had been something I had been working on that day. And he looked at me and he said, "What do you think? All us crooners just hang out together?" And it just took me right out. And it just, that and the way, and I got it backwards because I had connected with Ray after that, and Ray said that, and when I was shocked when he said, "You think all us black singers hang out together?" And I was sort of shocked, and he laughed and said, "Just kidding. Andy told me to say that." So I had this thing with Johnny Mathis, and then here's these Johnny Mathis CDs that popped, somehow showed up next to my keyboard while I'm doing this show with Raphael, and Raphael said, "Andy told me to send you those." And it was
That's
just,
amazing.
I mean,
right on
that
the
was,
show.
yeah, and that was
That's amazing.
That was something else, and that was quite a message. And I don't know. I don't expect that that's the kind of thing that happens to everybody, and I don't say that as to mean that I'm something special. That's just an example how messages can come to you, and it doesn't necessarily mean a little stack of CDs popping up somewhere, but it's something that shows up somewhere it shouldn't be. Like
That's
Toni, you had mentioned
right.
like a feather, or something, or a song on a station that doesn't play that kind of music.
Yeah.
Just something that pops up somewhere else, and that's really the key. It's something that shouldn't be there, but it is. I had a friend who posted the other day that she was in the hospital on the 6th floor, and she was feeling very alone, and she looked out the window, and this was on the 6th floor, and there was a hummingbird that was suddenly there.
Wow.
And it stayed there for, she said, like 10 minutes. It just stayed there looking at her through the window. And, it's on the 6th floor. You don't usually get hummingbirds up on the 6th floor.
No, I don't think so.
But
that's
it's just
amazing.
But there are messages everywhere. There are signs everywhere. And most of the time we're too busy and we don't look and we don't see them because we're waiting for something bigger. I know I had posted a thing on Facebook sometime earlier this month that, yeah, maybe that's the sign, but I'm looking for a more signier sign. And I think that a lot of times we do that. We talk ourselves out of, oh, sure, that station should never have played that song, but it was probably an accident that somebody hit the wrong button, and we talk ourselves right out of it. I need something.
I'm wondering if everybody else heard it, though. Do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think everybody heard it, or do you think
I don't know.
Heard it? That I don't
know.
know. Because it wasn't just one song; it was every special song we'd ever done. It was like a whole thing, all the way back to PA, like an hour and a half. Crazy.
I remember doing a little event at a psychic shop one time, and a particular singer had come through for somebody, and it was such a big deal that when they were driving home, they said one of their songs came on the radio, and it really took them. They were really taken aback by this, so they changed it to another station, and one of their songs came on there, and they did this like 3 or 4 times, and every time they changed it, the next song was by this particular artist. And it's,
there you go.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I think that that's the way a lot of us tend to look at signs and messages that, well, okay, there was that one. Now I'm going to switch the station and see if it does it again. And then I'll see if it does it again. And then I'll see if it does it. We do that, or we decide that, oh, yeah, there was a feather on the couch, but, the cat probably brought it in, or, we're so quick to dismiss some of these things. And and your first reaction.
People asking for more and more signs and messages. Yeah, people will do that.
Yeah,
human nature.
I will. I remember. John Edward is a very famous psychic medium, and I remember an interview with him where he was talking about describing the particular kind of chair that this guy had liked to sit in at home, and that there was something different about it from the years of wear, that there was a certain part of it that had to be repaired, and he knew about this, and he knew about the dog, and he knew about all this other stuff, and they were waiting for one particular nugget of information that would prove it. And he had given them so much stuff, but they had already decided they wanted one particular thing so that they would know, and sort of dismissing everything else. And he was like, I've never been in your house. How would I know about this chair? How would I know about the green patch on the side? How would I know about this dog that liked to sleep under the foot of it, or sometimes on the arm, and on and on and on. But it was just, there was something else. And I mean, he had so many details that whoever this was in spirit that was trying to get the message through was giving him, but it was never, for some, it's never enough, that you need so much more. And one of the things that I have said many times on this podcast is that one of the number one messages that I have been given to give to somebody is, I love you. And it's it's a very simple thing. And so many are looking for some kind of Da Vinci Code secret about where the money is hidden in the locker combination at the bus station and all this kind of stuff, when really, come on, all of that's ridiculous. If your grandfather was here right now, what's the first thing he would say to you? And he would turn and look at you and say, I love you.
That's right.
And
exactly,
it sounds very simple, but it's true. And if it were you that were in spirit and you got to come back and see your grandchild, what would you say to them? You'd say that you love them. You probably say you are proud of them.
Yeah.
And those are very simple messages. Those are the big ones. And a lot of times those aren't enough either. And it's but those are, and sometimes it's just as simple as that you're not alone. I'm here with you. You hear their favorite song in your head, or you see a kind of flower or a bird or something that reminds you of them. And that's your first reaction when you see that thing. It's, oh gosh, Grandma really loved those kind of flowers. That's your first reaction. That's what it is. It's just that simple. Exactly. She's there. She loves you. You're not alone. She's with you. And that's your first reaction. And what a great message.
It is.
I mean, I would love it. I would love it if my grandfather would come through and give me the winning numbers for the Powerball. That'd be wonderful. I'd like that a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah, but yeah, who wouldn't? But really, hearing that, the first message I ever got before this whole world opened up for me, the first message I was aware of, I was at a spirit gallery, and my uncle had come through, and before I had gone to this, we were told to think about who we wanted to hear from and what kind of message we wanted. And I thought, I don't have a particular person in mind, but I'd like to hear that they loved me and that they didn't think I was a screw up. And the message that I got was that he loved me and he was so proud of me. Or words to that effect. It wasn't exactly like that. Yeah. But I was quick to dismiss that too. And I remember riding home and telling Lisa, well, it was kind of a generic message. And she said, but it's exactly what you said you wanted to hear.
That's right.
And it was. And I hadn't thought about this particular uncle in a long time, but he popped right into my head, and I could almost hear his voice. And I love you, and I'm proud of you. What a nice message.
It is. The best.
I hope that everybody who is listening to this podcast, whether they're listening live or listening to this later, I hope you get messages like that.
I do too. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think we should mention about messages?
Well, in my case, I've been missing, let's say I missed my daughter, Samantha, and been kind of sad on the down day, and she'll resend me a card that she sent before. And it'll just be like on my desk, or it'll fall out of a book or something. Just strange like that. You can't make that up. It's just so magical. Things being not where they're supposed to be, like your CDs. And it'll be a beautiful card where she's just, she used to send me a lot of cards. But, I thought I'd put them all away. And then suddenly one will appear right when I need it. Just magical things like that, And then again, I have had disembodied voices, but to save my life 2 times. So, that's really freaky to hear like a deep male voice. It's like it's coming out of a radio, no radio song or no television.
Yeah.
And it's going, hey, listen to me, You're going to die if you don't do this. And I just go, oh, okay. I better listen to that. That just absolutely blew me away. I think it took 2 years to get over that. It just freaks me out. Even though I do this work, when something crazy like that happens, that's crazy. Even to me, it's just too far out there. It's too far out there. And but I'm grateful for it. It makes a good story now. But I remember the day it happened. It's freaky stuff.
Oh,
and there's
and
no explanation. It's metaphysical.
even though it's, as you say, even though it's freaky, because of the nature of what you do, you could handle it. It might have taken you kind of a little while to deal with it.
I handled it immediately.
Yeah.
It's just that I kept thinking about it for literally a couple of years. Like, wow, did that really happen? Am I crazy? No, of course you're not crazy. Stuff's been happening to you since you were a little kid. Why do you always think it's crazy? But I do. I don't know. I have too many planets in Virgo. That's the problem.
Well, I think a lot of people would have difficulty, even though that most of us are kind of expecting to hear the voice. I think that if we really did, it would be tough to handle.
Yeah.
Even though we think that's what we want, I think if it really and I think Spirit knows that.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons most people don't get it.
Yeah. Usually the voice only comes when it's, and I've met other people that had the voice, and it was each case to save the person's life. And so that makes perfect sense. And it's a deep voice, that says, "Hey, idiot, get out of here."
I had a friend, someone I used to work with, who was who's a psychic medium, and she was driving, and she was at a light, and the light changed, and she started to step on the gas, and there was a loud voice in her car that said, "Stop, wait." And she did, and a car came speeding through the intersection, going through the red light the other way, and it would have creamed her. But
believe it or not, the same thing happened to my daughter.
Yeah.
Yep. Here in Houston. She heard a voice scream, "Stop." She slammed on her brakes, and a car came flying through the red light. True story. So that's pretty common, Happened to her, too. And she'll never get over that.
And there are subtle things. My father passed away 3.5 years ago, roughly. And my mom has one of those Amazon things. I don't want to say the name because anybody who's listening and has one now, it'll wake it up. But you know what I'm talking about. But it has a little video screen. It has a little video screen, and there's they're rotating images on there. There's like news headlines, and there's weather, and there's the picture of whatever's playing now, if something's playing, and a couple other things. And then there's a photo of my dad that my sister uploaded in there. That's a really nice picture of him smiling, and my mom likes that. So it pops up, in a rotation of like 5 different things. But every once in a while, when she needs it or she's thinking about him, it stays on that. It doesn't rotate anymore. It just stays on that picture for a really long time. She's talked about times where she's sat at her table alone having dinner, and that picture comes up, and it just stays there. And it shouldn't do that, but it just does. And then when she's done and she gets up, it shifts to the weather or whatever else. But it happens often that picture will just stay there. And
I love it.
And and it's subtle things like that you're more likely to come across than a big booming voice.
I agree. Yeah,
but
that's
true. It's little things like that. And when the first time it happened, she tried to explain it away, but it's happened enough times now that she
gave up,
accepts it. And she tells me that she had a nice dinner with my father last night.
Isn't that
that's lovely? Yeah, that's nice, Mom. And it's little things like that. So If
Let's
you
go
come
on.
across something in the next week or so and you feel like it's a message, shoot me a line on Facebook or Twitter. And you can do a private message, so it doesn't have to be something everybody's commenting on. But just let me know what it was, and especially if you're not sure if this was a message, let me know, and we can chat about it. And
That's a great idea.
If you're hanging on the line right now, and I ever stop talking so that I'll pick up your call, and you've experienced something like this, I hope you'll share it with us.
Yeah.
Speaking of picking up some calls, we should shift
do
and do that. Toni, you want to explain yourself and tell everybody who you are and why you're here?
Yes, I am Toni DeMaio, and I was born this crazy way. Been seeing dead people since I was a little kid and just knew stuff. And my reputation grew. Let's put it that way. If you're right enough times, the word travels fast. So that's how I ended up here tonight, and I'm very glad to be here. And over the years, my specialty has evolved to be speaking through the spirit guides. So I give my messages through guides. And I can hear the voice of my guide, or he'll give me a vision, or, he'll even say something to me. It just depends. In order to help to give you the answers that you need to know. And, of course, he can zip across the world and talk to your spirit guide in a second and then come back with the right answers. So that's how I read. And I allow the spirit guide to control my pendulum as well for yes and no answers, as well as all the cards that I do use. So that's what I'll be doing for you this evening, and I'm going to give you back to Ken.
Okay. I'm Ken Kessler. I fly the plane here and push the buttons, and I am a psychic medium and a music intuitive. I get, as I mentioned, most of my messages through music. For the purposes of tonight's podcast, I have a playlist going. It's my Psychic Jukebox number 7, and it has 5,168 songs on it, and I had started it shuffling randomly before the podcast began, and when we pick up your call, I'll let you know what song is. I invite my guides and your guides and my angels and your angels to give me the song that's the message for you. So when we pick up your call, I'll let you know what song is playing and what I think it means for you, and that's all well and good, but my mentioning it to you could give you one of those things that you just know instantly. Oh, that's my great grandfather. That's my old college buddy, whatever, that you might get, and that's fine. Sometimes that's how it works. So angels and spirit like to use what's in our heads as the readers to give you what you need to know, and sometimes it's just as simple as my mentioning the name of the song and the artist. So that's what we'll be doing, and with all of that said, and that was a lot, I know. Thanks for hanging in there. Our number is 347-838-9903, and let's grab some calls. Hi, thanks so much for hanging on. What's your first name?
Hello?
Hi, what's your first name?
Maria from New York.
Hi, Maria. How can we help you tonight?
How are you?
Yes, I got an issue with my insurance about my roof. I think it's good to get an adjusted, the insurances, some part independente adjusted to let it look at it.
Okay, so you're saying you have an insurance, is it a settlement coming in? Are you looking to get a settlement? No? Not a settlement, but just figure out the insurance?
It's for figures of the roof. I want to get an the insurance.
An adjustment. Yes, I think that if you call in, I'm sure that they'll talk to you about that, honey. But I'm going to pull a card for you anyway. I do feel like you're going to get what you want, though, Maria.
Thank you.
You're a woman of action. And it says here that the angels want you to know that the current challenge that you're calling about pushes you to be assertive and self-confident. So stand up for yourself and defend your position. You have the right to excuse yourself from anyone who brings unwanted drama into your life. So when you talk to the insurance people, just be very assertive, stand up for yourself, and I'm sure things will go your way. This is what I'm feeling. You are welcome. And I'm going to pull another card for you, because you're such a doll. It says, you feel a deep longing for something meaningful in your life, and in your heart you know there's more out there waiting for you in the world. It may be time for you to make a move, take a trip, some little change, some change. You need something to change. Do what's right for you always and seek out your magical new adventure. That's what God wants for you, sweetie. And now I'm going to give you to Ken, and I thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very, very, very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you. God bless you.
Bless you. God bless you.
Hi, Maria. Are you there?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes. Did she go away?
I don't know. I think she might have hung up.
Oh.
Maria, if you're still listening, the song that was playing is Huey Lewis and the News' Hip to Be Square. And it's a lot like what Toni said about standing up for yourself. And this song is that it's hip to be square, square being somebody who follows the rules and does the right thing and all that kind of stuff. And that the song is that it's cool to be that kind of person. And I think the message for you is that the right thing is for you to be who you are and stand up for what you believe and what you're about. And I think that, like what Toni said, that's what you need to do, and things are going to work out in your favor. Just be you. And I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry we lost you. I hope that you're still listening and that you get that. 347. Okay. 347-838-9903 is our number. Hi, thanks so much for hanging on. What's your first name?
Hi, my name is Ashiel.
Hi, Ashiel. Where are you calling from?
New York City.
And how can we help you tonight?
First of all, I'm glad I called on time today. Last time I called was the other show, so I'm happy. My question is just my love life. I was interested in someone recently, and I felt like the relationship was, we're getting to know each other. The relationship was kind of one-sided, so I decided to kind of move away from that situation. I didn't quite put closure to it. I just kind of moved away, and looking forward to seeing somebody else coming my way.
Yes, I'm using my pendulum, and as you were talking, I'm asking the pendulum, is someone new coming in for Ashiel? And it says yes, definitely, big time. Now I'm going to pull some romance cards for you, so I can give you a little clue. Oh, yes. Well, the first card in the Angel Romance deck says just keep a positive mindset. Keep all your thoughts positive. Know exactly what you want. Kind of write down a list of the qualities you'd want in this lady, and you will manifest exactly what you want in the way of romance. And the angels are saying to come in with a heart full of gratitude, and you will know bliss in your life because love will come. And the next card says that all you need is time, a little bit of time to heal from the past disappointment, and progress will be made, and a new love is coming for you, 100%. And this relationship is going to progress to the different levels. It's going to feel like just very effortless, like meeting a best friend at first, and then it will turn to love, and you'll think, how did I ever not have her in my life? So just believe in that power and the magic of love, and love is coming for you, my friend. I'm going to give you to Ken, so please stay on the line. Thank you.
Hi, Ashiel. The song that was playing when we grabbed your call is Dream Baby, this particular version by Del Shannon. Do you know the song Dream Baby? A lot of people.
No, but I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
What I get from this is that the person of your dreams is coming for you, but you have to figure out what it is that you're looking for, because you had mentioned with this last one that it wasn't right, that it wasn't, you felt like it wasn't the right fit, and so many times we'll get calls from people who are looking for love, but they haven't gone beyond that of what they're looking for. So you should think about, and I don't mean, just superficial details. I mean, the kind of person, whether they have similar interests as you do, or some similar, some not, whatever it is, the things that really matter to you. Think about that in relation to the person that you want to meet, and you'll attract that to you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, but can I add something else, if I can?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to say that that's the reason why I walked away from this last relationship. It was, it's just like I have my boundaries, and then I knew what I was looking for, and we get along really well. I was attracted to her, but as it got to, I felt like I was always reaching out. Once I reached out, I think it was perfect, but I just don't want that in my life. I want to be mutual. I want to be, give and take. And that's one of my important things. If I don't get that, I just walk away from the situation. And that's why I walked away.
Okay. Well, think about that as one of the important things that you want, and put that energy out there, and that's what you'll attract.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What's the name of the song again? The name of the song?
Dream Baby.
Dream Baby. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're
welcome. Have a great night.
You too.
I, of course, know that song, and Del Shannon. It's an oldie. Go ahead.
An oldie but a goodie. 347-838-9903 is our number. Hi. Hi. Thanks so much for hanging on.
Hi.
What's your first name?
Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm calling from New York. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're very welcome. How can we help you tonight, Catherine?
I was wondering with work, please, if you can pick up anything around a project that begins with the letter F. If I should kind of get that. F as in Frank, sorry.
Okay.
If I should put that into the works now.
Okay. Catherine, could I have your birthday, just the month and the day?
Sure, June 26th.
So you are a Cancer.
Yes.
Perfect. Very caring.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're asking if you should implement the project that begins with the letter F.
Yes, if I should put that into the works, into production.
Let me ask.
Thank
should
you.
Catherine implement the project, put it in the works with the letter F? Yes, they're already saying yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm going to pull a card for you also. And you've got the Emperor. It's all about stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation and having ambitious plans and having things work out for you. In fact, the next card in my hand is all about the fact that it's time to move quickly. The angels want you to choose logic over emotion and cancers are generally emotion over anything else, but you do have a very strong logical side. So use your head there and choose the logic over the emotion. You may have sudden changes, but I think it's going to be very successful. You'll also have an opportunity to improve your plans, but listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. Face your fears and grow stronger. So if there's any fear or any doubt attached to this, just kind of push that aside. You're going to be absolutely fine. Things are going to work out better than fine. It's going to be amazing.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And now I'm going to give you to Ken, and thank you for calling, my friend.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you, sweetie.
Hi, Catherine. The song that was playing when we picked up your call was Don't Fight It by Wilson Pickett. By any chance, are you familiar with that song? I bet not, but it's okay. It's okay. This song is about, and I'm gonna resist the urge to sing it, and everybody should be thankful for that. But this is about doing what feels right and don't fight it. And it makes me think that you already knew before you called us what you probably should do.
Right.
So don't fight it. You knew. So just trust you and what feels right, and that's the right thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
Yeah, I'm just, I was like, oh, should I, get a team of people around? Should I just put it down and just see who comes? Like when you first start something, you get a little bit like, oh, which direction to turn. So, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Just do it now.
Yeah, don't fight it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Well, I hope that helps, and thank you so much for calling us tonight.
Thank you both. God bless you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie.
Oh, thank you.
We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.
Yes, thanks.
Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.
We are getting some. I'm in Florida, and we're getting a little bit of nasty weather here. So I think that I will take that, and we'll wrap up a few minutes early tonight. Do you want to pull a card for somebody who maybe is listening or is going to listen later and didn't call in tonight? Why don't you do that, and I'll get a song too.
Okay. I have the 6 of Abundance. Heaven opens its loving arms and pours abundance onto you. An unexpected gift is on its way. Accept it with gratitude and humility, knowing that you'll have a chance to return the generosity by giving to others in the future. You also might want to consider volunteering for a charitable organization. And I'm going to give you to Ken.
Okay. The song that's playing is a song by the Yardbirds called Sitting on Top of the World. And it's funny how sometimes we'll get a lot of new songs, and today they were almost all 60s songs, I think. Yes. Sitting on Top of the World, it's just like what it sounds like. Stop worrying. You're sitting on top of the world. Really, it's that simple. I don't want to go on. I think that whoever gets this is going to know what it means for them. But the lyrics, part of the lyrics anyway, now I don't worry, Lord, I'm sitting on top of the world. So anyway, I hope that helps. Thanks everybody for calling in. Sorry that we're sneaking out a few minutes early tonight, but I'm not in the hurricane path, but I'm adjacent
you're getting
to
the
it.
ball out.
Yeah. So I'm going to go batten down some hatches. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks to everybody who called in. Apologies to a couple of people who are still on the line that we weren't able to get to. Toni and I will be back 2 weeks from tonight, so I hope you'll come on back. If you don't want to wait, go to psychictapestry.com and click on our teachers and healers, and you can make an appointment with Toni or me or with Lisa, who was on last week and is just wonderful. Otherwise, we'll see you soon. Toni, thank you so much for giving up a chunk of your Tuesday night for us.
Thank you, sweetie. I wouldn't be anywhere else. I love you all, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, or I'll be talking to you in 2 weeks anyway.
All right. Take care of each other, and remember to tell people close to you that you love them. And we'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.